The human rights laws that exist in Victoria are the Equal Opportunity Act, the Racial and Religious Tolerance Act, and the Charter of Human Rights and Responsibilities, and they all have a different purpose. The Equal Opportunity Act protects people against discrimination and sexual harassment and victimisation in a number of contexts in our public life. So in our schools, universities, sporting clubs, at work, so in defined areas. The Racial and Religious Vilification Act protects us in relation to racial and religious vilification, and it doesn't have to just occur in a workplace or on the sporting field or at a club or at the university, for example. It can actually be anywhere, and so that act has a broader remit. One of the things that we're hoping to improve in that regard in relation to this act is that it's extended beyond just racial and religious vilification, and it includes hate speech and hate conduct towards other groups, because we know that that conduct is also prevalent. So we're making submissions to government and to a current parliamentary inquiry in order to broaden the scope of that act to include people with disability, women, members of the LGBTIQ community, so it's more effective in its coverage. And the final piece of legislation is the Charter of Human Rights and Responsibilities. The ACT and Queensland and Victoria are the only jurisdictions that have a human rights charter. We don't have one federally, which people are often surprised to hear about, but unfortunately it's true. So we're really lucky in some ways that we've got this additional rights protection, and it applies to government and to public bodies in the way in which they provide services to citizens and the people in the community, and also the way that they develop laws and policies, and really in terms of the decisions they make. They have to put a human rights lens over it to make sure they're not infringing and breaching people's rights. And we don't have a role in enforcing that. There are other avenues for that. That's the IBAC is one avenue if it's a police matter, where the police may have been alleged to have breached someone's rights. They can go to IBAC, or the Ombudsman also has a role in relation to public servants. We, though, at the Commission provide education, we intervene in court cases involving the Human Rights Charter, and we are the place to come to ask for information as well. So we've got lots of functions, but we don't actually take complaints under that piece of legislation, whereas we do take complaints under the Equal Opportunity Act and the Racial and Religious Tolerance Act.